Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Life is Better with Music with Gavin and Mitchell. We had another great weekend in the marching band world. We had three BOA shows?
Yeah, yes,
It was
three.
two Texas and then
And
one
one
in
Delaware.
Delaware. And I think Matt Harloff and Jarrett Littman were both at that one,
Hmm.
which is interesting. Well, I mean, I saw it on Facebook because Jarrett Littman posted a picture with Matt Harloff, so I'm
Yeah,
assuming they were on the same judge panel.
I would assume
But
so.
before we get started,
Because their
obviously we have
bands
our
don't meet till nationals or actually ever.
yeah, I don't think this season they meet.
No, they don't.
Um, but before we get started, our normal routine Hades, not much different than like last week. We're still kind of at the same point. I'm still trying to like chunk through those final couple movements and then add drill to it. But we should still be on point for November. Um, Praying, but who knows? I know for my season we have 3 weeks left. We just finished a doubleheader this weekend. We have OSU this weekend,
Oh,
a Newark show the following weekend, and then we have states. So we're about tapping out soon, which is sad, but means the next week and week and a half I'm adding all the rest of the show choreo and cleaning it for the next week and a half after that. So, I mean, no complaints here, but just gonna be a little bit of a stressful couple weeks for me in the marching world, but it's whatever. If you haven't gotten your t-shirts yet, jump on the website. I forgot to say that. They're still there. Obviously, we got a bunch of colors. I probably will be adding stuff as we approach the holiday season and some like discounts and stuff like that, some promo codes, holiday 2022 or holiday 22, something like that we'll do. Um, we'll have it and we'll let you know about that when that comes around. But going off of that, we'll talk about OMEA World first. So again, we had two competitions. Friday night we had a football game at the same stadium we performed at the next day, which is Watkins. So at Watkins, which is our morning show, we got best percussion, got third place overall by 0.6. Like we were 0.6 away from second place.
nice.
We were second place visually. Whoop whoop.
There you go.
But the group that beat us visually is like Avon size. So it's like, okay, well, the bigger the band, you can hide more visual ticks throughout the ensemble. And no
Yeah.
one can tell me otherwise because you put those people in the middle of the form, you can hide it. But again, with our ensemble, we kind of have them stretched out. Everyone's there to see. You can obviously see if they make a mistake. But it's put out all on the line. But that show was on the best run of the season was Watkins.
Nice.
Then later in the night we had Taze Valley, which the run wasn't as good, but we got second place and beat Grove City, who took first at Watkins.
Hmm.
And I mean, I'm gonna take the second place, but technically we're supposed to be third because penalties were involved.
Oh.
And the time and penalty judge messed up,
Oh.
which so it's like a whole thing.
What happened? Who won then?
So technically Grove City won. Dublin Kaufman got second, and then we got third,
But
which is
Dublin
fine because
Kaufman.
yeah, Kaufman and Grove City are huge. Like they're great bands. So like we were expecting third, but when we heard second, it was like what? And then we heard Kaufman won, but Grove City only went to third because they had a penalty. And the time and penalty judge, what happened is, there's two times they're supposed to record.
Hmm.
There's the time like on and off the field in total, and then
Right.
there's like the time of your show, like you're like from the when the drum major salutes to when you
Right.
get off the field. And they flipped the times, so we were technically 2 seconds away from getting a penalty. Two
Oh.
seconds, but we were nowhere close. But with how the judge was flipping it, we were 2 seconds away from getting a penalty as well, which could have put us at like 4th or 5th place. Like it's like, and it wasn't just like Grove City that had it happen. It was like 4 groups. Yeah. So needless to say, that was a huge slip up on the OMEA judges' part. And I don't know. I know bands are complaining. And in Kaufman, like the people who got first place gave it to Grove City because it's like, oh, well, here you go. Like we'll be fair sport about it.
Yeah.
But we took best color guard there.
Well, there you go.
So we got best perk at the first one and then best color guard on the second one. And it's like the rest of the scores, it's like we can't even really. So it's almost like the competition's like doesn't count. It's like because everything like messed up in the end. But overall, it was like 2 great performances. But the first one in the morning was better, which is a surprise. I don't know, like maybe waking up early to do competitions is better because they had like a hell of a run. And I was like, whoo, like awesome. Because I remember waking up that morning.
I hated the early morning shows.
32 degrees.
No, screw that. Screw that.
Mr. Ray yelling at them about their part 2 choreo for half an hour. Like,
no, I hated that.
They missed it at the football game. So I was like, okay, we're not missing this time.
Yeah, I hated the early morning rehearsals. Like
I liked it. I got bundled up. I got all bundled up. I had my beanie. I had my like turtleneck, and I was in dress clothes. I had a turtleneck and a hoodie on top. I was bundled up. I was all bundled up. We had marching tacos at Taze Valley. You know, like a little bag of Fritos with taco stuff in it.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the night, they gave us like more burgers and hot dogs, and it was like the best thing ever. After the band staff hasn't like eaten all day.
Yeah.
In that morning, I had a coffee. I had an Alani. I had a Dr. Pepper at some point in the day, and then I also had a Red Bull later in the night. So I was going, man. I was I was going.
Well,
today we didn't have rehearsal. We kind of just said, take the day off because the head director
went
also
to 2 shows.
Yeah, and the head director had some stuff she had to do at home. And Thursday, it's just the battery and the winds, and we're doing half music and like half body, something like that. Because it was going to be a full music rehearsal, and I was like, well, can we do body since the guard's not here? Can we kind of like lock it down and go in the gym or stay in the band room and just do some body and play? Just so we're not forgetting everything I teach on Tuesday, Wednesday, because I'm adding a bunch of new stuff. So it's just more like, hey, let's not forget it because we have Friday and then we go to the Ohio State Stadium, the shoe. So, and we're the second to last band to perform. So we're pretty deep in the lineup, and then Ohio State goes on after. So
I want to see if the let's see. I wonder if I can pull up the band list.
For what?
Buckeye Invitational.
Oh, yeah, you can. It should be somewhere. And if not, I have it.
I got it, or at least the program. Let's see. Here's the let's see. Do I know anyone? Walter East Edmonds, I know them.
Grove City's going.
Yeah, Beaver Creek, Pick Central.
It's gonna be a hell of a show for us.
Yeah, Licking Heights, there you go. Grove City.
And it's funny because like
Carlisle High School. I think that's all the bands I can.
A lot of the double A's are like the double A's are solid. So it's like it's gonna be hopefully a good weekend for us. I think is obviously if we clean the things that we need to clean from those judge tapes, then we should have a pretty good night. But again, with bigger ensembles, especially in state circuits, they get awarded like more points just because they're bigger.
Yeah.
and they can hide more things. I think it's more impressive when a tiny band can come out and sound great and look great. Because
Right.
when you see like a tiny band come out, you're like, oh, okay, this is gonna be good, like all sarcastic. But then when they like perform it good, it's like, whoa, that's impressive. When a big boy comes out, just playing loud and marching fine, but not doing any choreo or anything like that, it's kind of like, oh, well, they're a bigger band, so it's like that's kind of
Hmm.
expected. And that's like with Tarpon, like we're in that middle part. It's like, okay, yeah, like we know Tarpon, but like if Tarpon just came to a competition, well, it's like when they first went to BOA, everyone's like, oh, like, whoa, like okay, like this little dog is barking. So it's like, I'm mainly talking state, especially in state circuits, it's like you're bigger, so you're gonna get more points. But we try our best to compete. And if we're like right behind them visually and we beat them in battery, beat them in color guard, like we're like trading off with them basically. So we're
Yeah.
getting to the point where it's like, hey, like we could be a threat in the next year or two, kind of like watch out. Like
Hmm.
we're building our stamina, we're building our organization. So and next year we want to do some BOA shows, which will also help with, just the competitive style that we're approaching.
Hmm.
Um, but overall, it was a good weekend out in OMEA. But
Yeah.
oh,
Westfield had a great weekend too.
yeah,
Um,
love Westfield.
did Sean tell you
I mean, tell me what.
how
Sean told me a lot of
they
things.
they kind of almost 6 pointed their entire competition for their state circuit, for their state class? Um,
No, he didn't talk state with me, I don't think.
we'll talk about that later, but yeah, they kind of killed everyone.
Love that.
Yeah, although at that point, it's just I kind of feel bad for like all the bands that are competing against them because personally, I think they should have made the jump up to open class and competed with Carmel and Avon because I think they have a really good chance at making state finals in open class. But
Yeah,
you
but I
know,
mean, the
right? But
organization will do what it's got to do.
it'll do what it's got to do. But when it's like a 6 point or like when it's something stupid big like that, and it's just a runaway, I don't like that. I feel bad because that just negatively impacts every other band. It's like, oh, we're not even gonna go. We're not even gonna stand a chance. We're gonna get screwed over big time because
I
so
mean,
and so.
that's how other people feel about like Tarpon, Carmel, and Avon.
Right.
Like you
No,
gotta
no, you're
like them.
right.
It doesn't matter what class, circuit, whatever you're in. There's always someone you're like, oh, whatever. Like that's Grove City with us. We're like, oh, we won't beat them, but we could probably take a caption or two over them. It's like,
Yeah.
but we won't beat them in general effect or anything like that,
But
which
I'm
I think
talking
is
about like
silly.
sweeping captions, straight up, just absolutely obliterating everyone. That's just I just don't like that.
Yeah,
I
like Tarpon at Orlando when no one else is there. It's like,
it's like yeah. And one of my friends brought this point up that the competition, the level that they should compete at, should be productive to their program and conducive to their program in terms of pushing these organizations to be better.
well,
You
then,
know,
my thing is maybe they didn't think they were going to have as successful as this season as they're
yeah,
having.
and that's what Sean and
So
I were
then,
kind of talking about.
so then next year they may boost up into that
Oh, next
next
year they're
open
going up.
class
Next year they're
group.
going up. They're totally 100% going up.
And again, that's just kind of the discretion of the like director. It's kind of like, oh well, we
Right.
didn't think we were going to do this well. The group's great, so yeah, next year we can look at new horizons and rise up.
Right.
And I think maybe that's kind of more the situation more
That's
than like,
probably a
oh,
lot of it.
let's 6 point it and win. Like maybe they're like, oh, well, oh, okay, well, okay, yeah, like let's go up next year. So we have like a new level of competition.
Yeah.
So,
You're right.
um, but yeah, I mean, congratulations to Westfield. They're having a hell of a season.
Oh
So,
yeah, they're definitely
um,
killing it.
Moving on to BOA, we got the Mid-Atlantic Regional in Delaware. Delaware. Here's our little prelims lineup here. Place and class. 1 and 1. Place overall. 1. Kiski.
So we saw Kiski take the entire thing.
Yeah, and then Independence High School in second.
Congratulations, good for them. They beat James Madison, who's really the powerhouse in Virginia.
Yep, look, Matt Harloff,
Jared Littman,
Richard Saucedo.
Yeah, and Chris Catholic.
That is for being Delaware.
Brian
that's
Warfield.
Brian Warfield,
that's the Homestead director.
Well, like think about that. Like that being out in Delaware, like where almost no one cares about Delaware, like that's a hell of a judge lineup.
That's a
like,
very big
like
judge
that
panel.
is like the best. Like I wouldn't say the best, but like that's one of the best judge panels you can get. Yeah. So like get good comments. Like holy cow,
these guys know what they're talking about. Saucedo, we're actually playing an arrangement by Saucedo and WMB actually. We're playing a Wicked arrangement.
Wicked. Hey, Fort Mill.
Fort Mill. Whoa! Hold on here. Hold on.
Fort Mill, South Carolina.
That's pretty sus. There's bias. Get him out. Get him out.
Oh, and yeah, look. So, I'll move this. Open this back up. You can see, the judges slightly moved around for finals.
Yeah, they do that.
So Matt Harloff.
Harloff to GE. I thought he would just do individual.
Well, I think that's what he was.
No, he was ensemble.
Ensemble. Well, yeah. He moved the general effect.
Good for them.
Did Kiski sweep captions? I wish it would just tell me the captions down here, so it's easier on me. So instead of having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, put the places like in order instead of that. So 83 overall. That's not a bad score at all. GE 49.6. Yeah, so they did sweep.
Yep.
I mean, congratulations to them. Is there anyone that's like kind of a surprise here? Westfield High School?
Oh? No?
Westfield?
Not really. I was expecting James Madison to probably take second place. I wasn't expecting Independence to beat him. I was expecting
that's a good gap too. That's 2.3.
Yeah. Congratulations to Fort Mill. I was not expecting Mill Creek to be down at 7th. I wasn't expecting that, but who will? Cool. I wasn't expecting Green Hope to be at they're at 5th. Okay, never mind, they're fine. Yeah, that's about how I expected outside of those couple, because I don't know too much about a lot of the bands that are here. Just because we rarely ever compete with them.
Yeah. I mean, overall, a great show and probably one of the better judge panels this season. I would.
Really? Yeah, for sure.
Like that's a great judge panel to have.
Yeah.
But let's move over here to Fort Texas. Got all these Texas shows. We're just in Fort Texas and Texas season. Like all these Texas groups.
Inflation.
Got all these judge panel. Jay Webb, David Morrison,
Michael Gray.
Yeah, Michael Gray.
Bobby Lambert and Michael McIntosh. He writes Carmel's percussion book. Bobby Lambert's the director of Wanda. Jay Webb is Jay Webb. Yeah, they're doing.
Mo and Gene Johnson High School took it here.
Yeah, they're coming to nationals.
Clovis. Lake Ridge. I'm just trying to see if it slightly changes as we approach finals here. No, Mo and Gene took it. We got Clovis again. So honestly, it's roughly the same. Highest score here is an 83.95, which isn't terrible. What's
No,
Carmel? What's Carmel's high score right now?
85 point like 05.
Oh, they're coming for you.
Oh yeah, most definitely,
Oh, Texas show, it's coming for you, man. And they're
most
at least
definitely.
they're all above 70. So, I mean that's a great show.
Inflation.
Oh, it's okay.
I
Did
mean,
Mo and Gene sweep?
no, they did not. They took visual and GE and Braswell from Braswell took music. The 12th band in finals.
Oh, here. Oh, damn, and they were fourth.
Yeah. I find
Well,
it really weird when stuff like that happens. Like when
well,
there's
and
like a
that
band that takes a caption and is like sitting down in fourth, and it's like,
and
huh?
I know how it happens because
Oh,
the
I do
other
too.
scores are really high,
Right.
but it just kind of makes it's like, okay, well, you would think.
Yeah, you would think if they're taking a caption, they're either first, second, or third.
And we had a talk this weekend, some of our staff, because there was a tie at
Oh
some point,
no, a
and
tie.
it wasn't like us. It was like a different class. But I just remember looking at like one
What's
of
the
our staff
tiebreaker?
members.
Well, that's the tiebreaker.
Well, it's OMEA, so it's like there really isn't a tiebreaker, and it's like, oh, yeah,
Oh,
both bands will receive a first place trophy, and it's
what?
like
What?
one. It was like one got this, one got that, and they tied in like GE or some stupid crap. But even in
Huh.
OMEA, it's not GE that determines it, like BOA or
Oh,
DCI, like how it like is. And again, it's like so we just looked at each other. It's like in OMEA, they try not to do like point twos, 0.25s. They try to just keep it like 90, 93. But if it's like a bunch of double A groups, they'll start throwing in, oh, 0.25, 0.5.
why
But
not?
then but then one of our scores was like a 50.99. And we were like,
What?
what the show me your grade rubric that shows you how to what's the difference between a 50.98 and a 50.99 and a 6 or a 51? What is the
Yeah.
difference?
Yeah, what
And
is that?
like because we were kind of ticked off by it. It's like
I
what
would
is
be.
your grading rubric to like it's not like you're in Bands of America where it's like that little thing can get caught. We're in state with three to four 2A groups in this competition.
Right.
And then the other score was like a 34.14. It's like
Ew.
what is the grading rubric?
Huh.
And that's what frustrates me about like it should never go if I ever see a score 78.245, like no.
No.
Like 83.175, like that's more understandable. Because now you're going out to that decimal place and you have that five. It should just be in intervals of like five if you're like changing it like that.
Yeah,
But
that's stupid.
like because 175 makes sense, but if it's not 175, it's like it's just what is the grading rubric in OMEA state like state circuit? I have never seen a 50.99 in any of our BOA judging. Like
No.
the point
No, that's
99, like
stupid.
what? And that's like
That's
we got
stupid.
like every show we've been at, we've qualified for state again. Like we've gotten straight ones, which is like, okay, you qualify again. And we qualified at our first show and we've been doing it since. But it's just like, how? Like, what's the difference? Show me your grading rubric.
Yeah, I want to
And
know
that's
that.
like that's kind of the frustration with like state circuits is it's like it's like these older people who can't make a band sound good anymore sometimes or it's people who just think they're better at judging so they throw out these weird numbers and
Oh, this
the
is
thing
a
is
60.235.
well and that's the thing like the whole thing is all like 92, 93, 94, and then when
Why?
there's a bunch of five when there's a bunch
First
of
off, why
2A
is the group popping in 90 at this point?
well it's also states you got to remember that um
But that's in
that's
2 weeks.
that's well it's state circuit. It's a
Oh,
different circuit, so the judging is going to be all sorts of messed up in
No group should be popping a
comparison.
90 at this point. I'll say it now.
Well, like I think our highest score is I don't know.
I mean, we don't usually pop a 90 till super regional.
I know we're in like the 80s, but like our visual score was a 91.
Oh, is it an average of?
It's a 100-point scale.
Oh,
So it's
ew.
like, well, again, that's every state circuit's different. You gotta remember that.
No, yeah, I do.
But again, like most judges try to keep it. And the thing is, in OMEA, you're not supposed to have ties. You're supposed to use those 0.25s to change a tie and find that other little mistake. So there is no tie. And you're not supposed to give someone a 50.99. Like, what is that in comparison to a 51? And the funny thing is, I think it was that either that same paper or the other competition's paper where there was no comments on the paper. Obviously, the judge shape was great, but there was no comments on the paper. It was like 2 sentences.
What?
So it was like, oh, okay, like I guess we'll listen to your tape, but it's like, and the tape was great. The tape was great.
Dumb. That's dumb. That's dumb.
Well, again, it was just like so like, what's the difference between this and that? But that's a little rant on how states like a 34.14. What is that?
No.
In comparison to a 34.15, what is that? Like 34.15 to 34.14. What is that? 50.99 to 51. What is that? like what is how is that 0.0 like what's that 0.1 tick?
No, that's stupid.
And that's like this, like all of us were like, what? Like, what is this? Like, who like, obviously I won't say judges' names, but it's like, what was that?
Why?
But another Texas show, the Dallas Fort Worth Regional. Who's our little panel down here? Michael Miller.
He writes for the Colts.
I know he does. I love Michael. I think he's a friend on Facebook.
Yeah, he's a friend of mine on Facebook.
Dale Warren.
Marie Suspinski. She's
Jones.
judged a lot of caramel shows.
Let's see here.
For me personally, she just has a lot of hit or miss sometimes, like in terms of comments and whatnot, in terms of placements.
Dang.
But, yeah, I know.
Hebron, about at a 90. Whoop, whoop, Hebron.
Okay. Yes, don't get me wrong. First, love you, Hebron. I absolutely love you, and I cannot wait for you to come back to Grand Nationals next year because I want to see another show like 360 or Among the Stars. I want to see it win this time. But I'm going to say this again, and this certainly will not be the last time. How much damn inflation do we have this week?
Hey, no, listen. Better than
No.
Hebron
There's
High
no way
School.
that Hebron is
Flower Mound. Heck
points.
yeah.
There's no way they're better than
Everyone in top 12 above a 75.
That's stupid. Texas inflation is ridiculous.
Also, kind of like the answer to your question about like how state circuits can do a 90. If you think about a state circuit in comparison to Bands of America,
I guess it ends later, or I guess it ends earlier.
Yeah, Bands of America ends later, and it also is more competitive and is a lot, like, I wouldn't say cleaner, but it's more, I don't know how to sound like, not sound offensive, like more quality to it, just because like these groups are very, very competitively strict, and some states are the same way.
Yeah.
But in Bands of America, it's a different breed. And then comparing that to drum corps as well, the judge panel expects more.
Yeah.
So in states, it's like, yeah, they expect this, but this is at state level. But if they're the judge, like a Bands of America thing, their scores may be down. If they were to judge a DCI thing, and like if they did a DCI panel to a state band, like it'd be
the top bands would barely crack a 70.
Like it's a lot more strict as you grow
The
in
top bands
circuit.
would barely crack a 70, maybe even.
Exactly. And like that's why like some bands they say some bands could compete in drum corps, but that doesn't mean they would make finals. Like
Hebron.
it's like Hebron, like a great example. But
They sound like a drum corps.
But that's how these groups can pop 90s in state and then go to Bands of America and pop like a 79. Like
yeah.
And if they went to drum corps, they could get like a 67. Like it's it's a whole different breed.
I just take issue with that sometimes. That just kind of drives me up the wall sometimes.
Yeah, but again, it's a different circuit. You gotta remember that.
It is. Yeah, it is.
So again, like you could go to a different state circuit with your band and like it'd be like a completely different score in reality. Like if you took your band in like theory to a different state with the same judge panel that you did in your state, like the same exact panel, it would be a different score.
Yeah.
And if you did it the same day, same exact show, it would be a different score. Just because of how the states do their judging and how they judge and what the ticks are, what the penalties are, how much you're supposed to take off, what's on your rubric, and what you're supposed to actually judge. It's basically it's just a bunch of like BS this, BS that. It's like I hate to say it like that, but that's just how judging is. Same in show choir, same in indoor. Like it's the judging world. Solo and ensemble, same thing. It's like all state, like there's all different types of judging and it's like, oh, out of tune. Yeah. 10 points.
Yeah.
One bit. Oh, I can't see the out of time beat there, but I'm gonna assume it's there. So
yeah,
2 points. Like it's so but in reality, 1 point in OMEA, 3 points is not as far as you think.
No.
So us being at the first competition where we took second at visual and we were 2 points under Grove City, in theory, if the show was better than it was in the morning and Grove City had like the same show, we could have beaten them visually because that's not a big gap technically.
No.
But in like Bands of America, that's a decent gap.
That's a massive gap,
Like even the 88 to the 89.6, that's a point and over a point and a half. It's 1.6. That's a gap.
Oh yeah.
And so like that's where you can kind of draw that line. But again, state circuits are different. Like especially in drum corps, like 0.5 can be far away sometimes. Like if you're 0.5 behind Blue Devils at one point, you're like, oh, we can catch up, and then the next show Blue Devils will go like 2 points above you. It's like, oh, okay, thanks for the little tease, drum corps.
Yeah, you thought.
Yeah, exactly.
You thought.
They sweep captions?
You got played. You got played.
Yeah, they did. They swept.
Yeah.
Of course, Hebron
Understandable.
swept. I love Hebron. Let's see what we got this next week. The Power Bear. No. We got Super Regional. Is this our first Super Regional?
Yes.
Heck yeah, St. Louis. Then
Broken Arrow.
Another Texas show.
But we got our first shot at Broken Arrow this year.
Hey,
we got our first shot at
and Tarpon. And Tarpon.
Oh yeah.
Johnson.
That's right. Well, no, Tarpon's not going to Johnson City anymore.
What?
No.
Why?
Because they're going to Nationals instead.
Oh. They probably just signed up for it in case they couldn't go to all three.
Yeah, that's what they did.
Or in case they couldn't go to Grand Nats. That's poopy. That's poop.
Well.
Oh, we'll see Dobbins Bennett, though. Park Vista High School.
They just announced today.
Yeah, they did.
What are your thoughts on that?
I think it'll be a good show.
Yeah.
And then we also got North Carolina.
It's not going to be Dobbins Bennett 2017, but...
Yeah, but again, it's going to be different.
It's going to be different.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, we'll see a bunch of big bands.
It looks a lot like a Wes Cartwright show because it is a Wes Cartwright show.
VIP experience.
Shoot, we going?
No. I already got all my tickets for
Yeah,
Grand Nats. And we have
I'm
a
broke.
bunch of another. Oh, we got some non-Texas bands going to this show.
Yeah,
Only a couple, but
yeah. Let's go. Finally.
again, we have
Break into
this with
Texas and take them out one by one.
LD Bell.
Old
LD
Bell,
Bell.
Lakota West, I think I saw.
Blue Springs. Blue
BS.
Springs South. Lafayette. Yeah, that's gonna be a hell of a weekend here. And
I'm
then
interested
North
to see how
Carolina.
that goes.
North Carolina.
I was gonna say, Gavin, are you registering for North Carolina? Are you being a one band?
Yeah, I'm gonna go register and do a show.
Hey. You know, I got you. I got you. We'll go together. We'll be a two-man band.
Listen, my
Hey, we
visual
can sweep
technique.
captions.
Exactly. Listen, if I'm perfect visually and musically, I should be getting a perfect 100. And if I'm wearing like the most out of the blue uniform and
Pajamas.
get the audience to cheer for me, and I'm doing some cool choreo, GE right there. If I do a
You.
backflip, GE right there. Like, and then the week after that, we got this piece of crap, and
Hey.
then Tarpon for the first time, I guess now, and then that will be it for that weekend.
Yeah.
I still don't like it.
Well, cry
It's
about it.
not right.
Cry about it.
It's not right.
Cry about it.
It's not fair to other bands.
Life isn't fair.
Yeah, Tarpon's going at 3. That's a better time than when we first went there, my sophomore year. We went like
Yeah.
at 12:30. It was like the peak of the day. So it was like the hottest.
It's okay. It's a
Oh,
Texas group going.
Wando at
Wandu.
1:45. Timber Creek ended out
Yeah.
for prelims.
Citrus Bowl.
That stadium sucks. It's terrible, dude. And I got all my tickets. Again, I won't be going on Thursday, but I'll be there Friday and Saturday to watch the second day of prelims and semis and finals. So I'll be there all throughout that weekend, basically, except for Thursday. Mitchell, boo-hoo. He'll be doing whatever. But my fiance and I will record enough content since Mitchell forgot to at Louisville.
Sorry, I dropped the ball.
Yeah. So we got some interesting shows. Broken Arrow is going to Nats, right?
Yes, and they just announced their uniforms too.
I know. I love them.
I really like them.
I love Broken Arrow show. I don't care if it's a part 2
I
or
haven't seen
whatever.
it yet.
But I think it's going to do very, very well, and I think it could be a second year in
It
a
could
row.
be. It could be a second Broken Arrow year, but I'm gonna also counterpoint with.
Oh, and Carmel's gonna win. Shut up.
Who knows? We'll see. I think they have a shot. I think they have a really good shot. I think
it's. Is there any like Texas band going?
not ones that could win.
Okay, so it's probably going to be in between Broken Arrow, Avon, and
Tarpon.
Carmel. I don't know.
Can you
I don't know,
please tell
brother.
me what they're doing?
Nope. You can wait
Why?
till next week now.
Do I have to bother Isaac about it?
I don't know if I'll tell you.
I'm gonna bother him about it and be like, "Hey,
Just wait.
it's more than halfway through the season, buddy.
Just wait.
Drop
Be
your show right
patient.
now."
I love my
Wait, when's
group.
OMF?
I'm thinking. I don't know. It
Because
may have.
did they cancel it because of the hurricane?
No. I think because that was Seminole Sound weekend.
Okay.
I don't think it's this. It's probably the weekend after Orlando. Because if they were planning to go to Tennessee, they wouldn't have scheduled it during Tennessee.
It was scheduled to be. It says outdoor music festival. Let's see. Outdoor music festival. Let's see.
It's on the 29th.
I don't know. I have to look. Yeah, October 29th.
Yeah, so it's the week after Orlando because they were gonna.
Bro,
They were
that's so late.
well, they were planning to go to Tennessee as well because usually it's
Right.
the third weekend or second weekend. It's either right before Orlando or
I
it's
see.
so it's usually like right before Orlando. But in reality, it'd be like 2 weeks before Atlanta when we used to do it. I'm pretty sure,
Yeah.
and then we'd have Atlanta. We'd have like a state competition, and then we go to like Nats. So
Yeah.
it'll be again. I love my band. I'm excited to see them. I'm excited to see how they perform in Indy. I'm wishing them the best of luck, but I don't know. I don't think they'll take it this year. I don't think I hate to say I don't think they're gonna medal. I think their highest spot's fifth or fourth.
Who's beating them? Who's beating them for fourth?
Well, again, you don't know the behind the scenes of like what's kind of gone down. And like again, a lot as many staff changes as we've had, it's a lot of like new ideas and new morale going through a program. Yeah, Ford's still there, but it's still a lot of new like ideologies, It's still a
Yeah.
lot of new environment, which can stress a performer out. And especially with us not going since 2018, 4 years later, like that's a whole class that never got to go to Indy. Like basically.
Yeah, the last kids that went to Indy graduated last year.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah,
like the whole class is gone.
because those were the last people I marched the national championship with.
Yeah, like it's all. So that's where we haven't gone. Yeah, they may have went to Tennessee last year and got a little bit of the taste of cold, but early November
Hey,
is a different breed.
especially up
Here,
here.
second weekend in November, like it's cold.
Yeah,
It was cold this weekend. Like it was
yeah.
32 degrees on
It
like
was
Saturday
freezing this
morning.
weekend, dude. I hated it.
I mean, I like it because I like having seasons again instead of living in Florida. I like being back in my home state where I can actually have cold.
No.
But it was cold. So I bundled up.
Yeah.
But I mean, overall, that's probably going to cover it for this week. Next week, we're going to have what, 2 shows?
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
We'll
no,
have
we have 4 shows. We have 4 shows this weekend and then 2 shows the next weekend. Because that next weekend is Orlando and Indy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this weekend we have 4. We have one of the Carolina. We got St. Louis. We got Tennessee. Probably another Texas show. Probably another Texas show. Hate to say it like that.
I don't know.
But no, we got our first super regional coming along, so that will be exciting. But again, thanks for tuning in this week. My back's killing me, so I'm gonna edit this and go to bed. But thanks for tuning in this week, and we'll catch y'all next week. Peace out.